What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 27 of Gotta Watch 'Em All. I am one of your hosts, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-host, as always, Adam Tuttle. Adam, what is good? How was your week?
My week is good. I'm good. No, I'm great. My week's great.
It's great to hear, man. That's good to hear. We are recording this on Sunday, August 20th, 2017. It's been a very busy week for me. I've been working a lot, and I had the day off today, and I got some serious raid time in, and it was awesome. How's your week at Pokemon Go been?
I've been able to play like one raid, and that was Lugia, and I caught it.
Yay!
And that's
good.
That's about it.
Oh man, I have off of work on Fridays and Sundays. So Fridays I don't have as much time. That's typically my housework day and, running errands and stuff like that. So that day is pretty packed. I try to get in a little bit of gaming, but Sunday is the day that I can, if I need to, I can go hard. I have the flexibility to do that. And today, I don't know. It was just, I was determined to get some more legendaries. My son was fired up. He's got the raid fatigue going on right now where he's just, we haven't played the game where we're just walking around catching Pokemon and hanging out and stuff like that in a long time. Now the culture of the game has kind of shifted to get in the car, drive to the raid, knock the raid out, get back in the car, drive to the next raid. Like it's this kind of a very different feel. And he's got a little fatigue going where he's just tired of that in and out of the car and all that. But he was fired up today and he said, look, I need a Tyranitar. He still doesn't have one. He goes, let's just go out. So we found a group, Jersey Shore raid group we have this exceptionally active chat that's been going on, 250 members. It's like it's packed. And
wow.
Yeah, we saw some stuff in the morning. We went out to breakfast and we were like, all right, let's do this. And hooked up with the group. We did, I think, 4 raids in a row, came home, had some lunch, and met back up with the group and then did another 6 or 7 raids back to back. And it was awesome. And my son and I had some awesome catch rates. And I picked up 2 more Articuno, 2 Zapdos. And we didn't see any Lugia. That's one thing we didn't see. So that's going to be my mission for next week. And then I caught a Tyranitar and Machamp and some other stuff. I don't know. But we had a great time. And man, it was a solid day of grinding out some legendaries. And I'm really trying to just get as many as I can before they go away. So they did announce that all of the legendaries as we have them now, the 3 birds and Lugia, will be going away on August 31st. So those, that's going to be the last chance for anyone to get those.
Which is awesome.
Which is good because, they need to make this special.
Yeah, because I still haven't gotten any additional as far as Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno go, I haven't caught any additional ones from the 3 weekends that they had before that. So my goal, I have Tuesday and I think Wednesday off, so my goal is to at least catch one of each of them.
Yeah, and kind of the sentiment that we were talking about last week where, once you get that one and you get that Pokedex entry, it's like you could breathe a little and like the priority kind of wanes a little bit and you're like, all right, I can chill now. I can breathe.
Yeah, we were just talking before the podcast. I'm like still like stressed out because like I want to get a good Jolteon, but nobody will like meet up and do one with me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like everyone's doing it's legendary. And even like getting people together to do like a Snorlax, it's like, let's just find the next Zapdos. And, I'm the same way. Like I only wanted to do legendaries today, but we ended up doing a bunch of other stuff too. And it was great. I picked up a lot of Pokemon today, like some good IV Pokemon, but it's nice that they extended this stuff out. And I think that this is, the plan that we're going to guess is they unveiled at the, through Pikachu Outbreak and in the Pokemon Stadium event, they did a Mewtwo raid, which was the retelling of their original trailer that they promised, of Mewtwo up on a big screen and this huge group playing. And they had this stadium event in Japan and they recreated it pretty accurately. Now, this is the crazy thing. So the culture is so different in Japan than it is from like a New York Times Square kind of thing that they, put in the first trailer, that even though there was, over, I think it was, 2,000 something people in this stadium, it was like dead silent because like the culture in Japan is just totally different with how they react and all this kind of stuff, how excited they'll get, out in public. So it was definitely a weird culture, but they announced Mewtwo and everyone there had 100% catch rate, and there's now Mewtwo in, a few thousand people, their Pokedex, so Mewtwo's out. So I'm thinking where before we were guessing that Ho-Oh was going to be released at this Japanese event, and that's what we would see come, after August 31st. I think Mewtwo is on the way, and all the other birds will go away. Mewtwo will come out. They're announcing this legendary, exclusive raid battle system, which they have not explained at all. I don't know if you've seen any details, but it's so super, what I've seen is super vague of how they're going to have this exclusive raid battle system with invites and all this stuff. Have you seen like how they're doing this? It's really weird.
Yeah, I've seen various things on various sites, and it's just like my guess and my take on it is it said within the past few weeks, so I mean that's what I'm getting out of it. So if you fought anything within the past week, I guess it might be like a 7-day streak type of deal. Like it'll keep any of the raids that you've done in a category. So like, hey, you've done gyms like raids here and there, and like
it's got to be more than 7 days. It has. This is from the actual blog post on Pokemon Go Live. This is what it says. It says exclusive raid battles are similar to existing raid battles with a few notable differences. Exclusive raids will periodically appear at gyms around the world. However, unlike existing raids, trainers will be invited to join an exclusive raid battle. To receive an invitation to participate in an exclusive raid battle, trainers must have successfully completed a raid recently by defeating the raid boss at the gym where the exclusive raid battle will be taking place. So that's all that they've told us, recently. So what does that mean? Now, for you and me, and who people are active out there battling and, going out raiding a couple times a week, that would make sense. But we're not the 65 million active monthly players are logging in a couple times a month, Those players, I think they're going to need more than a 7-day window to revisit these gyms. Like, I don't know if people are going to be successfully completing a raid more than once a week. I know I'm doing 10 a day. I did 10 raids today, but I'm the anomaly. I'm the 1% when it comes to that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like, what does that mean? What does recently mean? It's going to have to be like a month or something like that, or 2 weeks at least. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
I could see it being a 2-week window. I mean, because that's ample time, at least if it's a gym or surrounding you.
Yeah, and what's going to be the, I work 40 miles from where I live, so the area that, I have gym activity in both of those areas. Is there going to be like a, some kind of weird geographic limitation? Are they going to have like a geofence around your main area of gyms? Like, if I went on vacation to California, am I going to get a, raid invite to a California raid because I did that last week? It's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that, but I don't know. I'm ready for Mewtwo. I'm ready.
Don't forget, shiny Pikachu is now available everywhere. Have you caught one?
No. I've seen, but I have seen. So the other night, Josh had a birthday party, and we dropped him off at, the party, and the town that the party is in is this crazy hotspot. And this is how we originally found this hotspot, was a year ago when he went to the same kid's birthday party. And that's how we found this spot. So I got off of work, Melissa dropped off Josh at the party, and I hooked up with her, and we just drove around and played in this one area. So the place is just awesome. There's tons of spawns everywhere, and it's along a waterfront, but then there's also, very suburban, neighborhoods with just, you can weave in and out. And we saw a definite increase in Pikachu spawn. So, we would go there and we would maybe get 1 or 2, maybe we'd come across them. I think we caught 8 or 9 in like a 2-hour span, which is a lot. It's much more than what we've seen. We didn't get any, shinies or anything. And the shiny does carry over to Raichu, and The real prize here, the real chase, is going to be the shiny Pichu that's hatch only. That's going to be like, I'd imagine that is going to be a little crazier than even finding one in the wild. And when they announced this and it came out in Japan, the spawns were crazy and people were catching hundreds and hundreds of Pikachu over the weekend and they weren't getting shinies. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how many people here get them. Since they announced it, I've probably caught 10 Pikachu, and I haven't seen one. But
yeah,
I imagine you haven't. I still even have Magikarp, man.
Yeah, even a Magikarp. I'm still shinyless.
So there was a post in my local Facebook group today of someone asking for Magikarp spawning, where they spawn, and they posted their Pokedex entry, and it was like caught 290 of them or something like that. So I was like, dude, I feel your pain. I look at mine, I had like 690 caught, and I think obviously the bulk of those have been since the Water Festival, since they announced the shiny. And I don't know how many of these things I'm going to have to catch before I finally see a shiny, but I'm so due. 700 Magikarp, no shiny? Please.
Just keep shiny checking.
Dude, well, look, I'm the person, I'll never not catch a Pokemon and go. If I see it, I'm catching it. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to skip anything unless it's like so dense that I'm going to miss out on, Pokestops or something like that because I'm just in the catch screen. But I catch everything. So if I'm shiny checking it, I'm catching it. And especially, I'm trying to, I'm coming up on 800 Magikarp candy. So then I'll feel better because as soon as I get my shiny, I can evolve it to Red Gyarados and then I can still evolve another good IV Magikarp that I have. So I got a plan. I just got to catch the darn thing. In other exciting news, and this is exceptionally relevant. So a couple days ago, they announced an event in Akron, Ohio. It was a college event that it didn't seem like it was going to have the same capacity or same weight of an event like the Safari Zones or even the Unibel Redonco mall events. But it was just the city of Akron was going to have an event going on at the city anyway. And Pokemon Go is kind of sliding in, into the event and kind of integrating itself. And just yesterday, they announced 2 additional events, one in San Jose, California, and the other one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dude, Philly is 45 minutes from my house. And, it's 5 hours and 45 minutes from you or whatever. So we're going.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
we are going.
We're going.
We are going. So I think the date is October 28th. It's Saturday, October 28th. And we are so darn there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be very, very exciting. So mark your calendars because I can't wait to this event. I can't wait to see if they bring a regional over here. Oh, I'm going to be so fired up.
I know. I'm so excited. This is so exciting.
And, the regional thing is interesting because right now, this weekend, it's just wrapping up, but we're the Worlds in Anaheim, California. So the TCG, the video games, Pokémon tournament, all the big deal, the whole shebang in Anaheim, California was going on. So what Pokemon Go did is they said during this weekend in Anaheim, we're bringing Kangaskhan spawns. And we're also going to bring increased unknown spawns to spell out the word Worlds to celebrate that. So they're starting to use this model of the regional exclusives popping up at these other events as a great, marketing tool. So if they bring in a region exclusive and unknowns to this Philly event in October, whoo-wee, I'm going to be so fired up. I'm going to be so psyched. It's going to be fun.
I know, I'm already signed up, but just sign me up again.
So it's a lot of good, man. That Pokemon Go is, man. It's making it. It's just keeping. They're doing everything they have to do right now, and they're I'm excited for the future. So they're making strides. I think GoFest is now light years behind them, and it just seems like they're doing everything right now. So I'm excited. We were talking about Anaheim. The Worlds did just wrap up, and I have not watched. They put the website up every year that has. It's cool. It's like interactive streams from each of the categories. Whether you're looking at the video game, or the TCG, or Pokémon tournament, you have these different stream channels that you can choose from in real time and watch the event as it's unfolding. So I haven't watched anything, they archived the stuff, onto YouTube. I'm going to have to go back and watch everything, but you did send me the link to the Masters finals, and, just to actually cover it for what it was, the name of the winner of the TCG Masters finals is Diego Carasaga. He's from Argentina, and he used a Gardevoir GX deck, and you had sent me the links to the final battle, the final match, and it's awesome. So it's very, very exciting that he was going up against a Japanese player, and it's very interesting to see the different dynamics of the Japanese player who's like super cool and calm, and Diego who's like got a lot of energy, and it's just really, really cool. I can't wait to go back and watch all that, but I'll throw a link in the show notes for that final match. I recommend everyone watch it. It was very, very exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely intense.
And you mentioned that they were using a lot of new cards, which is cool with the new rotation. I know they were still on the old rotation, right? Like they could use stuff pre-changed that they get grandfathered in, right? But you were saying they were using new ones though, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's where nobody's kind of figured out the format. So it's kind of like something that is rogue can just kind of sneak its way in and get all the way to the top. I mean, we all expected Gardevoir to be good, and hey, it won Worlds again.
I can't wait to watch the whole progression of, how that deck did, and, see the other decks that came to the event. Cause, the new cards they just seem very exciting to me. Like it seems like a good time to be in the TCG because the mechanics have gotten to this point where there's just so much excitement. Like it gets so tense. There's always a good payoff. It's just TCG is in a good spot too, which is awesome. There's a lot of good happening in the Pokemon world.
Yeah, so good that Shining Legends is already available for pre-order. Like they've already got the set coming out.
This is good and bad. So when I saw this, I go, oh my gosh, I haven't even really done my unboxing of my Burning Shadows Elite Trainer box yet. Like, I haven't even dug into that, and already the pre-orders are up for the new set, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I keep up with it? But yes, pre-orders
this
are up.
hit like a ton of bricks, like way too fast.
Well, I think what they did is on Pokemon Center, they kind of said, like, to celebrate Worlds and the new sets and all this stuff, we're going to do an extra early pre-order thing. I think there's some kind of benefit to putting in the pre-order right now, but yeah, that's a thing. It's the train is moving. The TCG train will never stop, and they just keep pumping out these expansions. It's tough to keep up with.
It's a great game. It'll never die.
Dude, it's got...
I've been playing it for years.
Yeah, obviously it's 20 years in, and it's the Worlds where it's just bigger than ever. It's awesome. They also put out a new Serena GX box. They put out a teaser, which is very interesting, of Ultra Beasts coming to the TCG, and Buzzwole and Guzzlord, and it's a really, I don't know, did you watch the trailer? It's like a cool little part animation, just released teaser for these two new cards that are coming to the TCG, and it
definitely was
exciting.
Different.
It's cool how they did it.
Yeah, it's really different. I don't know, it's like, it was almost real, and then shift over to like a cartoon animation, and then it was real again, and then the two cards.
But it's like a very cinematic build up to the reveal of the two cards, which is, I just thought it was cool because it's so, like, they build all this drama and tension, and it's like, and here's two cards. It's like, yes. Right. Very, very cool. But the artwork looks amazing.
Yeah, and they're both weakness to each other. Well, no, I guess, Buzzwole is weak to Psychic. But Guzzlord looks really cool.
The art is awesome. It definitely looks cool, and it's exciting to see how they're, handling this with like a cinematic little teaser trailer of introducing these new cards. I think that if with the success of the TCG and the popularity of Worlds and all this stuff growing, I think it's cool that they're doing stuff like this, because it's kind of pushing. It makes it a little bit more accessible, where, someone that may not know anything about the TCG and they check out this trailer, it's just different. It's so exciting and engaging that it might, make them stick around. So kudos and well done on that.
Yeah, because you're like, what is this?
Yeah, it's like...
What's coming? Who's coming?
These two cards. Up on Pokemon Center, there's new plushes and pins. And for me, these new plushes. I'm a big fan of the plushes. For me, there's a clear winner of the best one that was released, and that's going to be the Alolan Dugtrio, which is the greatest thing ever. It looks just like a living cartoon. It's just, the Dugtrio, you can see like the little, earthy slabs that they're on, and they have their beautiful flowing
luscious locks,
and the one's got like the perfect little bowl cut, and it's so funny. But it's awesome. And the back of it, like when you see the one that has like the big flowing mane of hair, like the back tufts of hair, it's all bunched up and everything. It's super well done. And when my son saw this one, he was just like, he goes, "Oh my gosh!" What he likes about these is they're making things that you think would not necessarily work as a plush, and they convert it into a plush and make it work. Like the Cosmog plush that came out with this set. They somehow make this little puffball weird thing that you think they wouldn't be able to translate into a plush, would need to be like a hard toy or something. They pull it off. It's like just cute. They did a good job.
Yeah, that's the one I like out of this.
Yeah, and a bunch of new pins also. They did, it's a set of 4 with Chespin, Fennekin, Froakie, and Pikachu. And then a very cool Alolan set of Alolan Sandshrew and Alolan Vulpix. So new pins, new plushes, new reasons to spend your hard-earned money on PokemonCenter.com. We need like an affiliate link or something. Like click this link and buy away so we can earn a few pennies.
Yes.
But yeah, new products are out, and it's awesome, doing this podcast now every week. And, I would always be a fan of Pokemon Center, and I would always check the site out, but I necessarily wouldn't check it out on a weekly basis. And now for the news section here, going back to Pokemon Center every week, it's crazy how much product just gets pumped through where, it would just, if I didn't check it every week, things would come and go and I would never even see them. So, now covering it for the podcast, it's like, man, there's so much product that just comes out. It's an insane machine that they got going.
Hey, if it works.
Obviously it works. And then finally with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they did put out some new details on the games finally. It's been kind of quiet of what the real thing and the reasons of, what's going to make this thing different and unique. And they released that there's going to be, new forms of Pokemon and new Z moves, and the player character actually is going to have different outfits and stuff to choose from. So they're starting to slowly roll out new details about the game. And, it's going to be one of those things where before you know it, it's going to be release day. So they're just going to keep on creeping up and dishing out a little bit of info at a time, as they see fit. But it's going to be here before we know it. And I'm
we'll
excited.
have it pre-ordered.
Yes. Well, look, dude, I totally want to do it. I really think we should play a little and, try to do it together and keep a very nice, moderate, casual pace of what we try to get through. And, we'll talk about it on the show because I just think it's too good a game to pass up. I got to play it. Got to play it.
Got to play them all.
Got to play them all. All right, let's talk about this episode. So, this episode is called Pokemon Fashion Flash. It originally aired on October 14th, 1998. It's a very exciting episode. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's a strong rebound from, the episode last week. Last week kind of felt weird and different, and they had to come back with, something strong to kind of get everyone's butt back in the seat, and I think they accomplished it with this episode. So, again, called Pokemon Fashion Flash. The episode starts out, and they're kind of walking through a very, very busy area, and they're on Scissor Street, right? So there's lots of signs and glitz and glamour and big billboards and all this stuff. It's kind of like a low-key Tokyo or something like that.
There's a big crab on one of the buildings.
Yeah, like big, fancy, like crazy buildings and all this stuff going on. And this place is like filled with Pokemon beauty parlors, and they actually use that verbiage, which I think is great. But there's all these Poke salons, and Brock is kind of leading the way, and he's in his own world. Like you could tell Brock is in his element, and he's just kind of like looking back and forth, left and right, and, kind of ignoring everyone a little bit. And Misty's like, what is going on with Brock? And then she remembers, this place is, used to be called, is also called Breeder's Lane. Now, we remember from the beginning of the series, Brock says that his goal with Pokemon is to become the world's best breeder. And that's his mission. So he's clearly in his element now, and it's cool to see Brock just kind of take charge. They kind of come up on this giant billboard that has a ridiculously glitzed out, completely bedazzled. So obviously knowing that these are the Team Rocket Pokemon. But when Misty sees them, she falls in love with it. And it's a total Misty thing where she's just like, oh my God, I love this. I need to find this place. So we gotta go. And as they're walking up to this salon, you hear a voice on the PA system say, welcome to Salon Roquet. And clearly this is a play on, Rocket. And inside, now this is interesting because once they show the footage inside the salon, Team Rocket is in there, and they're putting in work on a Raichu and a Dodrio. They're actually doing a good job, but they're not really in costume. So they're not wearing the Team Rocket outfits, but they're just dressed like stylists. So
yeah, they have some
clearly
glasses
them. It's clearly them.
And this part, when Team Rocket reveals Dodrio and Raichu, they have roses taped on their back. Yeah. And you can't see it at first because they're like, hey, super excited to show it off. And then they turn around and start talking to themselves. And then you can see that they're taped on there. I don't know. I just thought it was a huge, a nice touch. Made the reveal more appealing. And then, at this point when, Dodrio sees itself in the mirror, it's just it's so embarrassed.
Well, it's all made up. It's a Glamour Shots style makeover. Meowth is counting out cash, and is yelling at Team Rocket for, having an over, going over budget in advertising or something like that. So Meowth is their business manager. And Jesse's like, oh, well, we're only doing that to bring in new customers that are going to spend thousands with us. So it's super clear that this is just a way to exploit people to make money on them. So, I like how they don't pull any punches. They're just yep, we're in this for the cash, and that's all, got to spend money to make money, and that's all that matters. So I thought that was really funny. Misty is like, this is the spot, I'm getting online. And then Brock kind of bolts off into the distance, and he's clearly found the place that he was going nuts looking for, since the second they walked into town. Yeah,
so he just runs ahead and stops in front of the store that he's looking for, and he's all kinds of excited. He's like, ah!
It's that Brock voice again, where he's just it's so good.
That little bone shattering sound because he's so nervous to even touch the door. And Ash and Misty are they just look at him, they're like, what are you waiting for? And they just open the door in front of him. It's hilarious. And as they walk in, they see a beautiful woman. Her name is Susie. And she's giving Chansey a massage. It's so weird.
I cracked up when I first saw this. I was like, whoa, we'll get behind
your
the curtain
hands
or
off
something.
that Chansey there. That's And then Chansey's owner comes in to pick it up, and he is fabulous.
So I love this guy. So this guy comes in. He's super, super flamboyant, but he's rocking a Cyndi Lauper 1980s style. And it's just awesome. It's absolutely hilarious, but it reminded me completely of just ridiculous MTV 1980s, crazy fashion, crazy hair, crazy fashion. It's awesome. So yes, that's the owner of this Chansey that, just got this awesome massage from Susie.
And so they leave, and then, Susie's like, yeah, can I help whoever's next? And then it's Ash who's next. So she's like, do you need any help? And, Brock is just like, oh my goodness, she's talking to Ash.
Yeah, well, you could tell that he's infatuated by this person.
I mean, when's he not though? I mean,
I guess
he's always
thirsty.
He's always thirsty. And just then, Misty spots Vulpix, and it's the cutest Vulpix ever. And so Ash, being Ash, pulls out Dex and we learn that it's a fox Pokemon with 6 beautiful tails. And so, Misty, being Misty, she picks it up and she's like, oh my goodness, it's so cute. And just as, Susie is warning her not to touch it, she had already picked it up. So Vulpix, just opens its mouth and launches a flamethrower into her face.
It's so good, though, because the Vulpix is completely calm. Like, she just picks it up like a small dog. Like, she's holding it out, holding it in front of her like a stuffed animal. And Vulpix is just opens the mouth, doesn't make any other jerks or moves or anything like that, and just lets it out, right? It just completely cooks her face. It's fantastic.
Jumps out of her hands, and then just kind of goes back into the same position it was in.
It goes back to sleep.
Brock kind of squirms behind everybody, and he just comes in all awkwardly. He tries to get Susie's attention and be like, I look up to you. And so he makes a fool of himself and can barely put his words together. He's like, I adore you. I mean, I adore what you do. And it's absolutely hilarious. Like, I don't even remember exactly what he says, but he's just like, I don't know. It's absolutely hilarious. You have to go back and watch it. But he finally asks, for her to accept him as her pupil.
And the second he does this, Ash and Misty and even Pikachu are like, what? Like, what? Like, why would you say that? And what makes this person so special that you'd be willing to do that?
And I love the animation right here, because Brock is he's listening in, but his ear gets super big.
Yeah, he's like, what? Like, he can't believe what Ash is saying. And, Brock comes at Ash super hard, and he's like, what? He's like, how dare you? Like, how could you even say that? And this is going to be the thumbnail in the video on YouTube, but it cuts to Brock with a microphone, and he starts waxing poetic of all the accolades of Susie, and how she's won this award and that award, and she's known for this and known for that, and it's it's a big impressive list. And Ash and Misty are they're super impressed, and Misty's like, oh, I wonder if Vulpix has won any awards. And Brock slides right in again and is like, it's funny that you asked that, and starts talking about, just goes back to singing his praises. Ash and Misty have heard enough. Like, it's just, he's singing the same story over and over, and, his point is well taken. So they end up sitting down, having tea with Susie. They're kind of sharing stories, and Susie is complimenting Pikachu on how shiny his coat is. And Pikachu has a giant bowl of Pikachu food, in front, and he's just kind of snacking out on it. It comes out, Misty saying look, this is, Brock makes this food. It's his own recipe. And that's what they're attributing to have, Pikachu's, beautiful coat. And while Pikachu's eating, Vulpix jumps up. Pikachu offers some of Brock's food to the Vulpix, and the Vulpix chomps on it and loves the food. So Susie is, impressed with Brock and kind of compliments him, and Brock can't handle it. He slams his head on the table in shock, and he can't handle it. It's absolutely...
he bows down and slams his forehead. He's
I'm not worthy. But the whole time he's doing this, his cheeks are completely red. He's super bashful and super embarrassed of the whole thing. They end up talking about the Ekans and Coughing billboard, where they're all, bedazzled up like glamour shots and all that kind of stuff.
And so at this point, she's asking if, is the glitz and the glamour really the latest trend? And Susie goes into explaining on how the salon kind of goes against typical Pokemon morals. Trainers try to bring out inner strength and personality of a Pokemon. And that new salon is about making them stand out, not what's on the inside, which we all know is what's super important. It's on the inside that matters.
Exactly.
No, it's on the outside.
Exactly. Yep.
It's another one of those moral things. And Misty's, confused about the topic, and so she defends how Pokemon may like to actually get dressed up. She looks at Pikachu isn't that right, Pikachu? And he gets one of these, it's just an awesome, I know it's stupid, but it's a little tiny animation of a speech bubble with a question mark. And Pikachu's just what? I've never wanted once dressed up. Come on, what are you talking about?
Well, it's got to be the just the girl thing. You know what I mean? Like, because Brock can't get it. Brock doesn't necessarily get it. Ash doesn't necessarily get it. But clearly, Misty, it's important to her. She's defending it. But yeah, I just think it's
whatever
the
way
boys.
she can.
Yeah, the boys just won't understand it.
And so at this point, Ash stands up and he's like, "It's the inside that matters." And they get into their normal lovers' quarrel. Inside, outside, inside, outside. It's what's on the inside. It's what's on the outside. And Susie asks Brock if she should stop him, and he just says, that's like trying to stop the tide. You just can't.
It's just not going to happen.
And as they're going at it, Ash tells Misty, bring Psyduck to the salon. So she agrees. It brings out poor Psyduck, who is still holding its head. Yeah. She tells Ash, he's going to be so jealous once he sees how cute Psyduck can be. So Susie starts to question her methods, wondering if what is on the outside does actually matter.
Well, she's doing this because she's seeing it gain popularity in her town. So she's like, well, wait a second. If people really like this and this is popular and this is trending, is what I'm doing wrong? Like, do I have the wrong perspective on this? So she's questioning all these accolades and, all these things that she's done and won. But now all of a sudden, because Team Rocket's coming in and, bedazzling Pokemon, she's questioning her methods. It's messed up.
Bejeweling. They're
bejeweling
it. And Brock gets super upset by this and he's like, don't be influenced, super intense. Like, he's just like, don't be influenced by them. And it's like I don't know, it's a funny scene. And then Ash is like, they have to stand up for what is on the inside, and Brock has a plan to give customers substance with style.
And I really like this because clearly if the people want the style and what Susie has brought has been the substance, like, let's see how we can adapt, your existing process, your existing program of having all the substantial benefits of massage and all this stuff for the Pokemon, but let's do it in a way that's more appealing to the new customers. So it's kind of cool to see, Brock coming through with this because this is what he wants to do. And it's like, he has a voice now and it's like, okay, Brock is actually pretty capable of this. And I could see the reason why he follows Susie so much and why he looks up to her, because this is exactly like his element. This is really what he wants to do. So what they do is they throw this like lecture event at Susie's salon, and they do a lecture on Pokemon massaging. So they show like Pikachu sprawled out on the massage table where the Chansey was, and there's a whole crowd. There's a huge crowd in the place, and she's explaining that, when a Pokemon returns from battle, you should give it a massage. And she's kind of rubbing down Pikachu, and Pikachu is like the happiest I've ever seen Pikachu ever. Because,
she's
obviously, he's rubbing his belly and stuff, and cheeks.
His electric sacs.
And Brock is on the microphone, the whole time on the event, like, giving it the massage play by play. And they cut outside to Salon Roquet, and Misty is online, right? So she's like the third or fourth person online. She's standing there with Psyduck, and suddenly the line starts like thinning out, and before she knows it, she's the only one there. Like, she's kind of confused where everybody went, and she sees the Chansey's owner kind of walk by, and he goes, "Hey, weren't you at, Susie's salon earlier? Oh, she's giving a lecture right now on Pokemon massage." And then it kind of rings a bell in Misty's head, like everyone that was waiting to go inside Salon Roquet is now migrated over back to Susie's salon to hear this lecture. But that's not necessarily going to stop Misty from going into Salon Roquet. So she's kind of determined in that. But they cut back to the lecture. Ash has now volunteered to demonstrate some stuff with Pikachu. And Susie's like, all right, well, since Pikachu's electric sacs are in its cheeks, start massaging his cheeks. And it's really cute because this is really that Pokemon Refresh, thing where he's just like rubbing Pikachu's cheeks and he's like super excited. And you see this cute little Pokemon snicker on his face. And you could tell like this is true bonding. Like they're really, really bonding here. And as they're talking, and Ash is massaging and talking to Pikachu through the whole thing, she's saying, look, this is strong communication. This is what's going to help bring out the personality of the Pokemon. And that's kind of her thing. That's her meal ticket. She's trying to bring out the true personality of a Pokemon. So, again, doesn't necessarily matter what the outside of the Pokemon looks like. You want to find out what's inside and bring that out. Brock kind of comes on the microphone and says, look, these techniques are only as good as the breeder performing it. And then they show, I guess some inexperienced or non-confident breeders or trainers in the crowd. And they're kind of like, it's only as good as me. But yeah, so you could tell that this is not something you're going to learn overnight. This is a real process here to kind of get the Pokemon's personality to come out. And that's that moral side to, all right, this isn't just a show about Pokemon that battle each other. There's actual lessons here. There's actual things they're trying to teach you. And this is one of them. It's just, it's what's inside that matters. And it's super cheesy and campy to say it like that, but that's really what they're going for here.
Speaking about what's on the outside that matters, did you see in the crowd, there's this one lady and she's got her hair is literally a cornucopia. It's
yes.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, I wonder if Ken noticed that. But that's awesome. I'm glad you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yes.
At this point, it cuts back to Salon Roquet. And Jesse and James are finishing up making over a Squirtle. And the Squirtle has a wig, a bow, lipstick, and a painted shell with a bunch of roses on it.
Yes.
And Meowth, still counting money, says that they only have one more customer. And they're like, what? One more customer? So it's Misty with Psyduck, and Team Rocket immediately panics. And they do some crazy karate moves.
Well, again,
in a panic.
They're not in costume. They're not really, hiding their faces at all. So they're, they see Misty and it's kind of like, they think that the jig is up. It just goes right over Misty's head.
They drag her to the back of the salon as she's trying to explain that she's here for her Psyduck. And within 2 seconds, they make over Misty, and she's super cute. She loves her new look and tells Team Rocket that they're amazing artists.
I love it. I love the way, I think she's the cutest thing when they do it. Team Rocket.
They did a good job.
They got some skills.
For, people that like to dig a lot of holes.
Yes.
So she's so excited that she wants to try on other looks, and Team Rocket gets to work, and while she's getting her face painted and done up, they basically put a clown nose on her.
They go over the top, but I'm pretty sure that was their plan all along.
Yeah,
just such trolls.
And Meowth ends up blowing their cover, and he tells them to stop because she hangs out with Pikachu.
And then Misty all of a sudden is like, oh my gosh, you're Meowth. And it's she realizes what's going on all of a sudden because she saw the Meowth.
And Team Rocket is not happy at all about this. And they begin to fight with Meowth. And James, I love this. James is just...
This is so good.
He just keeps elbow dropping Meowth over and over again.
Like Randy Macho Man Savage. Yeah. Elbow, smacking the elbow and, hand over the head. Just complete elbow drops. It's really good. It's really, really good.
No, it really is. It's I used to watch a lot of wrestling when I was little, and I just was like, yes, one more, off the ropes. And then Meowth ends up clawing at them, ripping off all their clothes. Well, not all of them, but rips them into their Team Rocket clothes. And of course, their Team Rocket uniforms were underneath.
They wear that, it must be the thinnest material ever because they seem to get that uniform under everything they wear, which is so good.
Everything.
So, obviously Misty is now in a panic. She's calling out Team Rocket. And James grabs her and is like, if you don't give us that Pikachu, we're gonna paint you like Frankenstein. And she thinks about it for a second. She's like, wait, do I want my face painted
I don't want to look
Pikachu?
like Frankenstein.
I don't want to look like Frankenstein. And she's like, Psyduck. She starts calling out for Psyduck. And, Psyduck bailed.
Yeah, where's Psyduck?
They show him and he's just holding his head, running back to Susie's salon. Just Psy. So it's just very, very fitting because Psyduck's a wimp and just totally bailed on Misty. It really shows, how far their relationship has come. It'll just get out of Dodge when there's a problem. But I thought that was really, really funny. But he runs into Susie's shop and goes to Pikachu and starts, communicating with Pikachu. And Ash immediately asks Pikachu, like, whoa, what's wrong? What's going on? Is something wrong with Misty? Pikachu kind of says, yes, we need to drop what we're doing and go right now. So they're still in the middle of this, like, massage lecture, and they bolt out and go over to Salon Roquet. It's really funny because they run in. I mean, this part isn't funny. They run in and Misty's tied up to the chair, so she's completely bound, and obviously she's their captive. But they see her face, and she's got like the red circle nose, all her cheeks painted, and all this stuff. It's really over the top, and they almost throw up. It's really, really funny. And Ash steps up, and he's like, "I demand that you release her." And Susie's there too, and she's like, "This is ridiculous. It's what's inside that counts." And she's really pushing the moral code, And yep. Team Rocket is cracking up, and they're like, "Well, come on. What do you actually know about Pokemon breeding?" Which I think is ironic because she's this, well-decorated Pokemon breeder. And I enjoyed this part so much because when Team Rocket asks her, "What do you know about Pokemon breeding?" even Meowth is offended. Like, he's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, he's kind of sticks up for her a little bit and just hits him with the Fury Swipes, like, and she's like, "Don't you know we're just here to do a scam?" Like, he's like, "Why are you even worrying about Pokemon breeding or these people? We did this to make money. We just got, wanted a quick buck. We wanted to get in and get out." And meanwhile, there's like people around them, like there's a crowd kind of growing. And they hear, they can hear that this is a scam. So now they've kind of made themselves to the people where it's clear that, these people got taken for their money. And Meowth just blows the cover completely. We're here to make money. And if a rare Pokemon happens to come in for some salon treatment, we're going to steal that rare Pokemon. And that's the whole plan. So it all comes out and everyone's shocked, of course. I mean, I'm not shocked because that's what I would come to expect from Team Rocket.
Yep.
But Jesse's like, "Look, give me the Pikachu. We'll give you Misty." And Ash and Brock are like, "If it's going to be like that, we're throwing down right now. Tag team. Let's do this." And they both step up to the plate and they're ready to go for a doubles battle. It's awesome.
And James, he's like, "I'm so excited." He welcomes the challenge and says, he has his own fashion battle platform, and he pulls out this fancy mic with little tiny bows on it and presses the button on it, transforms the salon. It completely opens up with a giant staircase and flower-painted walls.
It looked like a 1960s disco Soul Train set. It was awesome.
It was awesome. And, Team Rocket is all like, they're dressed up in like fancy clothes. James is in like a wig and a dress, and Jesse's in this like, I don't know, swordsman costume.
Yeah,
like with a sword.
A formal soldier, old school, like Confederate almost soldier looking costume.
And of course, they send out Coughing and Ekans in their ridiculous outfits. They're still dressed up.
The outfits from the billboard that Misty fell in love with.
And Ash sends out Pikachu, who is super energized from the massage.
And when he sends Pikachu out, he like lunges towards the camera, like towards the screen, and because he's so energized from the massage, like he just lunges out. He's like, "Ah!" It's so funny. It's so good.
And then Brock sends out Geodude. Geodude. Geodude starts with a seismic toss on Ekans, and then Ekans rolls out of it and slams into Pikachu, who follows with a Thunder Shock. Ekans and Coffin spin around and deflect the Thunder Shock. James orders a Sludge Attack from Coughing, and it hits both Geodude and Pikachu right in the face.
Like right in the eyes.
I don't know. It reminded me of the scene from Jurassic Park where those little like spit dragon things hit the guy in the eyes so you can't see.
Yes.
And then as Jesse is about to command the finishing move, Ekans and Coffin like trip over themselves from their costumes.
Over the costumes, right? Like I think at one point doesn't Brock even make a joke and bust on Ekans because it's like, what is that, a Pokemon or a Christmas tree? Like Ekans is in this ridiculous dress that's like a cone and it's just got like all these crazy decorations on it. And that's what they end up like tripping, bumbling, and, even though Coughing doesn't have, actually, even though neither of them have feet, they both trip over it, which is great. But yes, it's really funny. They trip over the ridiculous Christmas tree costume.
And Meowth's like, get back up. And then Vulpix steps up to battle, and Susie says her and Vulpix will take it from here.
And she's super determined. She's like, look, it's what's on the inside that counts. Like, she's beating this drum, and that's her story, and she's sticking to it. And Team Rocket is laughing it off. They're like, Pokemon are like models, it's only on the outside what counts.
And then Jesse's like, all that counts is a pretty face.
So Meowth, Ekans, and Coughing, they lunge out together towards Vulpix. And it's a really cool animation because they kind of frame them out really cool on the screen. And Susie's just like, Vulpix, let's do this, fire spin. And you immediately learn that this cute little Vulpix here is no joke on the battlefield. Its eyes start glowing. They start out glowing white, then they turn blue, and then they turn like this very menacing red. And it's this huge flamethrower that comes out, torches all three Pokemon, but then kind of pushes back and turns into this giant vortex of fire and kind of engulfs the Pokemon and then ultimately engulfs Team Rocket. And it's so big, like, poor Misty is still in the middle here, tied to a chair, and she's like, whoa, don't fire spin me, but this move is no joke. And Ash even pulls out the Pokedex at this point and learns about that move, and that this is Vulpix's, signature move. But it's no joke, this tiny little Vulpix just completely decimates Team Rocket, and because this vortex kind of sweeps them off their feet, and, flings them up into the air. They do the whole, blasting off at the speed of light with the little star, the little ding, which I love when they can actually do that. When this Salon Roquet transformed into this, 1960s Soul Train set, the whole front of the building came off. So all the people on the street are witnessing this, and they're all gathered around. And, in this area, everyone has Pokemon. So when they pan out to the crowd, everyone's holding a Pokemon, or everyone has a Pokemon standing with them. So this is a very, very Pokemon-heavy area with the salons and all this stuff. And they're witnessing all this stuff go down, and they're hearing both sides. So it's very clear where Team Rocket stands and where, Ash and them stand. But getting back to the battle, Brock explains how a cute exterior can hide inner strength and true personality. And this is really the mission that Susie has been pushing all along. As everything's on fire here, poor Misty, still tied up, kind of sees Pysduck at the bottom of the steps and, like, starts scolding Pysduck immediately, like, for leaving her.
Like, where were you?
Yeah, like, come on, when I needed you the most. Where were you? Where were you? Team Rocket's gone. They've been ousted to the people of the town. So they show him back at Susie's salon, and, she's saying, look, because of all this, I've regained my confidence. I know that what I'm doing is right. And she even praises Brock again, which I think Brock actually starts crying tears of joy when she says that she was impressed. And she says, look, there's no way I could take on a student. I'm still a student myself. And the only way I'm going to be able to, continue to grow is if I get out there and get out to the real world. And she's like ready to, lock up her salon and hit the road as a Pokemon adventurer to improve, her skills in Pokemon breeding, and kind of puts out an open hand to Brock and is like, look, I'm not going to be your teacher. From this point forward, we're rivals, and puts out her hand, and they kind of shake on it. And it's cool because this shows the side of, this isn't just about battling or competition. Like, this is about the spirit of friendly competition and friendly rivalry. Like, it's a way that it's just a very positive spin on, look, we may not be on the same team, but we could still work together. We could still have this kind of relationship where we're going to look out for each other, even though we're ultimately out for the same goal. I just thought that was really cool. I thought that was a nice way to kind of send off with the episode. As this rival conversation kind of comes to an end, cute little Vulpix kind of walks up to Brock and starts, like, loving on him, like rubbing
him a little
his
nuzzle.
head. Yeah, nuzzling up on him. And, Susie's like, look, you're the first person besides me that Vulpix is actually liked. And she comes out and says, I think that you would be able to take care of Vulpix better than I could. and Brock is completely taken back. He can't handle it, and he embraces the idea of what's really going on, that she's now giving the Vulpix to him to take care of. And he pulls out a Pokeball, he opens it up in his hand, and the Vulpix kind of voluntarily just kind of warps into it. They pull out the stereotypical, I got Vulpix, like the celebration animation. It's like, yeah, I got Vulpix.
Then it cuts to Ash and Misty. Well, the whole group, but like Ash and Misty up close, and Ash looks at Misty and just starts cracking up because Misty still has her face painted almost like a clown.
But it was it was like a serious little nice scene, and Ash kind of had to ruin it just by breaking the the comic relief, because it was so serious and emotional and everything was so sweet, and then he just couldn't hold that in.
I mean, he's 10,
But the episode wraps up. Susie says her goodbyes, and kind of in the background, you see Team Rocket running full speed, and the entire town, like an angry mob, is chasing them down because, their story has come out that they were scam artists the whole time, and, they took the whole town for their money. So, nice, funny way to send it off, and they're not really giving any lead time of what's coming up next, so I don't know where they're going now. I don't really know, but it's...
Yeah, we going back to Cerulean City? Going back to Pallet Town? Visit Ash's mom?
We're still, dude, Mr. Mime. And it's cool that the teams are getting rounded out. Obviously Ash is going to be consistently getting Pokemon, but, Misty got Psyduck. Now Brock has Vulpix. So the arsenal that they're developing for when things hit the fan is pretty awesome, because obviously Pikachu has proven itself on the battlefield. Staryu and Starmie have time and time again. Geodude has, and we've seen what Vulpix can do. So they got a serious little unit going now.
I mean, aside from Psyduck.
I was just about to say, Psyduck, you know what? That's he could be like the moral leader, just standing there, like the head coach of a college basketball team that's losing its mind in the finals, it's just poor Psyduck, watching everything happening and melting down and from the sideline. But it's cool. I like how everyone's, wrapping up. I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. It was exactly what I needed coming off of the last episode, which really didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I really like this one. I mean, it had a lot of, I really enjoyed the different sound. Brock gets a microphone and starts using that, and it's clear that it's a microphone. Versus the last episode where it's everything sounded like we were inside an auditorium,
Meowth's voice sounded a little different in this episode. It may be worth going to the IMDb on this episode and seeing if there was a different actor playing Meowth, because his voice sounded a little bit different.
Yeah. I
enjoyed the way they really... I put a picture up of Misty on our Instagram page earlier today of when she's this, in the kawaii makeup and she's looking really cute. I just love the way they did her up. But there's a lot of cool little animation quips and animation elements in this episode that I enjoyed. And I think for story development and, how they're rounding out the teams and they're starting to build relationships a little bit stronger and show the reasons why the trainer wants to bond and needs to bond in certain ways with their Pokemon. I think they're just really rounding out the story and adding depth to, a kid's cartoon. There's I just like the way they deliver these lessons. It just makes it a nice... It rounds out the way the show lays itself out with story and animation. It's just there's real substance here too. So I like that.
I like that too.
I like it. I like this booster I got.
I like it a lot.
So this is going to be officially my first Burning Shadows booster that I'm going to open.
I got a Burning Shadows one. It's not my first. Won't be my last.
So I've got, I still have this Elite Trainer box that I got last week. And I've been waiting because I think on Friday, this Friday coming up, I'm going to finally film some unboxing videos. So I'll have other boxes and stuff. I got some Tapu Koko boxes to do. So I got product. I just have to get down to filming it. But I'm going to film that stuff and get that up in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. So I just took a razor blade and cut into this one a little bit and stole one booster out of the Elite Trainer box. So that's what I got. My first one. Let's do this. All right. Trainer Olivia. Trainer Kiawe. Porygon 2. Caterpie. Panpour. Alolan Rattata with a fantastic mustache, Mudbray, a Magikarp, fantastic. My reverse is a Seadra, Charizard GX.
What?
Yes! Ba, 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 ba. Oh my gosh. Yes! This is awesome. 250 hit points. It is an evolution, so it does have to evolve from Charmeleon. 70 damage wing attack with 3 colorless energies, and then a 5 energy Crimson Storm for 300 damage. And it has the GX move Raging Quit, which is discard the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. Oh my gosh.
Man, that's table flip worthy right there.
I was just going to say, that's griefing to the 10th degree. Oh my gosh. Especially if someone is set up, that is painful.
Oh man.
And I picked up a Fairy Energy in this pack also, but that's awesome. Charizard GX. I'm psyched.
Alright. Wish me luck.
Top that Charizard.
Alright, I probably can't, but, Alright. Well, to go along with your Charizard GX, I got a Charmander. I got a Panseer. I got a Pikachu.
Yay.
With massaged cheeks. I got a Krogunk. A Magikarp. A Kawi trainer.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
I got a Mount Lanakilla. I got Simisear. My reverse holo was Olivia. And my rare was a Crabominable or Crabominable. I can't ever say these names right.
That's half the fun.
I know, right? Crabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabadabad
saw various generations of Pokemon in there. I had an Alolan Pokemon in there. I had a Magikarp. Come on. So that's a nice spread. So awesome. I can't believe I got this Charizard GX. I can't wait to show my son. He's going to be like, "Whoa, let me get that."
Yeah, he's going to be like,
I'm going to be like, "No."
But really, let me get that. No, but really, Dad, let me get that. No, Dad.
Awesome. So yeah, I can't wait to dig into the rest of these Burning Shadow boosters, because that is quite the start. So that's going to wrap up this episode. A couple of housekeeping items. You can always find everything about the show at gottawatchemall.com. Find us on Facebook, on Twitter at gottawatchemall. You can email us. We really want to start building up our emails. I want to have some content, 2 or 3 emails a week that we can read on the show. So if you guys have any questions, even if you want to share photos with us of, your catches in Pokemon Go or something exciting that happened in the world of Pokemon for you, if you're going to, weekly tournaments or anything like that, share that with us. We'd love to talk about it on the show.
Let us know what you want more of.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to do some more community stuff, and I want to get you guys involved. So, what do you like? What do you want to hear? Keep us posted. Keep us in the loop, because we'd like to give you what you want. So be sure to email us, gottawatchemallpodcast@gmail.com. Check out Instagram. Insta boosters are still going on. I'm streaming on Fridays consistently again. Next week I'll be doing another Burning Shadows deck. I had a really good time playing the Rocksteady deck last Friday. That's up on YouTube right now. But check us out at Twitch TV/gottawatchemallpodcast. And that's going to be every Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be coming to Philly October 28th. Mark your calendars if you can make it. We'd love to meet you guys. We'll definitely set something up. And other than that, big shout out to Chipicrit for the outro music, Grimecraft for the intro music, Seth Hay for our original website design and logos. Adam, where can they find you?
On Twitter, PhoenixBack4Fire.
And I'm Proud Gamer Tweet on Twitter. Definitely reach out to us. Hope to hear from you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, episode is done. Bedtime. Yes.
Good night.
Awesome. Good night.
Or good morning, depending on when you're listening.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.